Alessia Russo and the price of the prize? The internal investigation is rocking the FA and raising big questions about transparency in women's football. London, in what seemed like a perfect season of trophies, goals and glory, Alessia Russo, the number 23 striker for Arsenal in England, is now caught in the biggest swirl of suspicion in the history of the FA Women's Super League. Did she buy the Player of the Season award? Russo was named Player of the Year on May 20 at a lavish awards ceremony in London. But just 2 days later, an anonymous post on the X platform, formerly Twitter, raised suspicions that Russo's romantic relationship with Celeste Hargrove, CEO of GLOMAX, the main sponsor of the award, had influenced the voting results. Downward trend from national star to the center of criticism. Russo's image, once considered a new generation icon, is rapidly eroding. Her Instagram account has lost nearly 130,000 followers in the past 72 hours. Brands including Marks Spencer, JD Women's and Umbro have announced that they are suspending all advertising featuring Russo until the FA has made an official decision. Open folder What we know so far. GLOMAX, run by CEO Celeste Hargrove, is the exclusive sponsor of the Player of the Year award. Hargrove and Russo were seen in private at a Swiss resort in March 2025. A leaked internal email suggests that 3 of the 7 voting panel members have indirect links to GLOMAX. The FA says it is investigating and will announce the results within 30 days. Ice from the dressing rooms, no more absolute trust. Former England teammates Lauren James and Ella Toone have been quiet about their distance. An unnamed Arsenal insider said. No one has said it out loud, but everyone is thinking. This title is no longer clean. Zipper mouth face Russo remains silent. As of the time of going to press, Alessia Russo has not made an official statement. Her representative said in a brief statement, "We respect the FA's investigation process. Ms. Russo will not comment until it has been concluded." The hidden hand behind the ballot. Who made Russo the winner? The investigation reveals manipulated ballots, shady phone calls and complicit silence from within the FA. London, as part of a 10-day investigation, the Herald has obtained an internal list of the 2024-25 Player of the Year panel, along with meeting notes and voting data. The results shocked us. Kira Walsh was the clear front-runner in the first round of voting, with 4 of the 7 votes for the top pick. Alessia Russo was second. However, after a technical re-verification round sponsored by GLOMAX, 2 votes unexpectedly changed places, pushing Russo into the lead. Phone anonymous call from insider. On the 3rd of June, the Herald editorial board received a call from an unknown number +44. "I won't say my name. But I was on the list. I was called before the night of the vote." The caller wasn't threatening, just said, "Imagine if the FA lost a sponsorship deal because of someone who didn't have enough media clout to make an image." The voice was shaky, broken, but each word was clear. "I changed my vote because of that pressure. And I was wrong." Brain. Who are the panelists? Although the FA is keeping their identities secret, the Herald has verified. One is the Director of Communications for GLOMAX UK, formerly Sky Sports. One is a senior PR representative for a club that has a parallel sponsorship deal with GLOMAX. The chairman of the board, according to financial records, received £80,000 in personal funding from the GLOMAX Marketing Strategy Fund in 2022. Balance scale. The FA is silent, but the waves are rolling in. 3 clubs have officially sent letters to the FA asking for the award to be suspended, including Manchester United Women. The PFA, Professional Footballers Association, has requested the establishment of an independent investigation team outside the FA. The Department for Sport has spoken out. If sponsorship power interferes with the process of honoring players, it is no longer sport. Alessia Russo continues to keep quiet. Since May 31st, Alessia has not appeared in the media. Her personal account has not been updated. There is only one IG story on June 6, showing a scene of the deserted Emirates Stadium with the caption, "Would you still play, even if no one's watching?" The counterattack of number 23. When the convicted man turns out to be a pawn, and the real puppeteer is behind the FA curtain. Calendar June 14, 2025. The Herald Sport. It seemed like the final chapter would be Alessia Russo stripped of her title and disappearing from football. But this morning, the Herald published a new batch of emails and internal documents, leaked by an anonymous hacker known as Libero23. Among them was a shocking report: Celeste Hargrove was not the one who actively manipulated the award. She was pressured by another force, the FA's own sponsorship committee, headed by a figure named George K. Hannings, FA's senior financial director from 2022. Bomb 180-degree turn. Russo is a sacrificial lamb in a political game. George Hannings was once accused of having close ties with Korean investment funds, who are negotiating to buy part of the WSL for commercialization. Russo, a purely British face, loved globally, is the perfect name to manipulate the image and increase the valuation of the tournament. Hargrove, who was at odds with Hannings, was forced to support Russo in winning the award, in exchange for continued sponsorship in 2026. Man Detective leaked emails between Hannings and the FA's head of communications. If Russo wins, GLOMAX will pump in another £7 million. If not, the Korean sponsorship deal goes up in smoke. Celeste doesn't need to agree. Just do the right thing. Bullseye. Alessia Russo's own counterattack. On June 15, Alessia appeared in an exclusive interview with The Guardian. She didn't cry, she didn't apologize. She simply said, "I was told to keep quiet to protect the image of women's football. But I didn't sign a contract to be a pawn. I didn't buy this title. But I was sold." In her hand is a recording of a closed-door meeting between FA and GLOMAX representatives, sent to her by Celeste Hargrove's personal assistant, after realizing that Celeste was being pushed into a corner. Collision conclusion. FA collapses, Russo wins, but no one is left unscathed. George Hannings is suspended and placed under criminal investigation. FA announces a complete overhaul of the award system. Russo does not return the title, but declares his refusal to accept the trophy prize money. In the final match of the season between Arsenal and Man City, Alessia takes to the field. No captain's armband, no spotlight, no sponsor on her chest. But when she scores from 30 meters, she does not celebrate. She just raises her hand to the sky, and quietly says to the camera, "Do you see who I am now?" Book ends with a single line, in the Times. They intended to make her a media figurehead. Instead, she chose to be the trigger. The Times, the 18th of June 2025.